overjoyed to be in this unique space that SEOC offers us to really bridge social entrepreneurs and social investors, and I think it's so unique, and I am really, really pleased to be here. But I am very honored to be here now to introduce someone that is an amazing social entrepreneur. And she's a woman, and this is very special to me because there is nothing that pleases me more, that for me is more valuable or worthwhile to see a woman that makes a difference for millions of our other women. And Celia Hodson did that for millions of women, shifting the mindset around period poverty. So a taboo, an issue that was a taboo and that she really put on the surface and challenged. But there is a second reason why I'm so glad and overjoyed to introduce Celia, and is acknowledging how difficult still is for many female social entrepreneurs to get money, to get investors, to get donors. So the implicit gender bias that still constitutes a double blind for so many women social entrepreneurs. And I think that in just looking at someone like Celia is really, and having a role model is such a source of inspiration for many young and not young women as social entrepreneurs. Celia, please, come.
Okay. Is everybody okay? It's very quiet, isn't it? It's very, very quiet. I'm from Scotland, and we have a wonderful thing in Edinburgh called the Edinburgh Fringe, which is where lots of comedians come onto the stage. And they do this really amazing thing to sort of raise the energy in a room. So I've never done this before, but I think we're going to try it. So we start by stamping our feet, and I'm going to get off stage. So what I want you to do is make some noise, raise the house for Celia Hodson. There you go. Woo! Okay. Thank you. So we're going to talk about period poverty, and I'll quickly gauge the room when we do this to see how happy people are about talking about periods. So a multi-award winning social enterprise we are. I'm very proud of that. We're a CIC, a community interest company. I don't know if that's something that has found its way to Italy yet, but it's very important to us. Community interest company. Kind of just what it says on the tin. It's there to support your community. So we're a enterprise by a guarantee. So just like we do our piece to the company's house, etc., we also then do a piece to the community interest regulator to talk about our social impact. So I'm going to take you on a journey. We've got about 15 minutes, but we're going to go on this journey together. And at the end, you can ask some questions. There will be a test, so keep alive. So this is an important piece to us. First of all, this is my tribe at the top here. It's wonderful to have social entrepreneurs in the room together because you are who you will lean on when things get tough and when you need energy and when you need someone just to say, is it this hard? Is it? So we are a certified social enterprise in the UK. Very, very important. This is a picture of some of our period pads, our reusable period pads. Important picture because it's when we started to do away with packaging. You need to think most commercial brands, they're trying to put more packaging. What can we do to get away from packaging? How can we make products have even less waste? So we'll just get into this and see how we go. So why? Most social entrepreneurs, I think, that I've met are driven by what we call in the UK lived experience, something that you've experienced yourself, and that's what drives you to make a difference. So I brought my 3 children up on benefits. I was a single parent. I did not manage terribly well as a single parent. In fact, the kids made most of the decisions in our family. But, it's sort of My children are now in their 30s, late 40s. I've got 4 grandchildren. And you'd think by the time from where I was bringing my children up to where people are now bringing up their children on benefits, the system would be much better. It would be more supportive. But actually, it's not. It's not. People who are just about managing are no longer managing because of COVID, because of Brexit, because of the cost of fuel. All sorts of things tip ordinary people over into the poverty piece. So what we found out, we did some research and we found that 1 in 10 women and girls in the UK didn't have access to period products. So, they think there's how many? 200 of us in the room here. It's not having access to something that's a basic human right. I think it's absolutely extraordinary. And what I was most shocked about was the further up the country you went, our beautiful United Kingdom, by the time you got to Scotland, with its castles and its mountains and its royalty and all that kind of thing, that figure was 1 in 4. So 1 in 4 young women not just living their potential, 1 in 4 girls dropping out of sport, not going to school. So what are we going to do about that? How are we going to give access to people? So these are some of my most favorite photographs for reasons that I think all social entrepreneurs have photos that are important. So you start an enterprise and you've got a bit of savings that's in your pocket and a bit of money that you've scrounged. And we started to build our product, which was a disposable period pad. We got folks in the room, we provided pizza and said, come and tell us about your periods, come and tell us about what a perfect period product would look like. And so we created a prototype, and then we piloted with that. As all social entrepreneurs, you go out with it, don't you? You run a pilot, you reflect on that pilot, you refine, and then you go out again. So we created a little a pad, and then we tested it, and we knew that it was of quality that we would be happy with. As a group of women, we were happy with the product. So we decided we would have to have these manufactured. And I think at that point for me, it was do I stay as the granny and do this on the kitchen table, or am I just about to order 350,000 pads? And it was quite a pivotal thing because we went for the growth. You can't make a social impact by, just making a little thing on my kitchen table. So this is a picture of me with my dog Candy at Dunbar, madly waving out to sea. And the reason I'm waving out to sea is this little, I don't know if anybody here is importing products, but you can track your container of products. I cannot tell you how much sleep I lost about that container coming in to Grangemouth Port. So I found it on the thing, and I went out and I waved, and I shouted, please be dry, please don't be wet, because the thought of having 350,000 slightly moist, soggy period pads was not great. So there they are, they arrived, and that was one of many, oh shit, moments. What if we don't sell these things? And my daughter said, well, at least the house will be warm. You can clad the walls. But yeah, they arrived into a social enterprise that stored for us, helped us pack. And this is it. This is our products. We started out with pads. We moved into tampons. All those people on those boxes are our team members, our friends, my daughter-in-law. When you have no money, you get everybody in your tribe to come and help you out. So all our girls went onto there. So quite quickly, I thought we would be able to solve this period poverty piece by selling in supermarkets. And the model we were going to use was a buy one, donate one. Really, really easy. People buy their period products. We do it every month. And at the same time, you bought the same thing for somebody else who needs it. And it seemed like a really great way, but to scale doing that was really difficult. What I found was supermarkets, I apologize if there are any supermarkets here, but are really difficult to do business with. First of all, supermarkets, it's all about the profit margin, how quickly you can get their product to, and then how long they can have to pay. 90 days sometimes. So I started to think about who else is doing anything in the period poverty space. And we had lots and lots of workshops with the Scottish Government who were thinking about putting free period products into schools. So we worked with them, we had lots of conversations with them, with educators, and found a way that we could actually do that. And that piece of work, the free period product bill, came into law just over a year ago in Scotland, and many other countries have followed. So how are you going to get product out? This is one of my... I just love this picture of these lovely, smiley faces. And something I learned from these young people, we talked to teachers and said, how are we going to get products out into schools? We don't talk about periods, we don't talk about Bloody Mary or that time of the month and all of those things. How are we going to get period products out to the kids in schools? And I learned, actually, you just get out of the way sometimes. And these gorgeous people, I met with them and said, how can we do this? And they said, oh, it's no bother. We'll just wander around the corridors and give people little stripy backs of products from a school in Glasgow. Absolutely amazing. Another school, they created Pedro, the period panda, who marched around in a full Mardi Gras panda outfit giving out products. We had the period posse, who sort of popped up with products. And then we had another group that had a market stall. Last day of term, take your products home for the Easter holidays or whatever. So, I think I learned there, just get out of the way and let the users, the people that are actually going to use the service, get involved. We've talked a lot about your community and who you use. And you stand there as a social entrepreneur thinking, I want to do this, I need to do this, I can't sleep until I do it. But the importance of bringing together people who can help you. So I brought together 50 people in my network, and I understand some of you guys have got actually 50 people to work with you on your enterprise. If you ask 50 people for one tiny little thing, like, can you just look at this spreadsheet? Can you check this press release? Can you just see if this box makes sense to you? They come back with years of abundance of ideas and support. So 50 people started Hey Girls, and I'm hugely grateful. And I think back to this picture, the one I was most grateful for, said, don't forget that the barcodes on your product are different to the barcodes on your cartons, your packaging cartons. And I went, oh shit, barcodes. Because you're so busy in the story, you're not actually thinking about how you're going to get this out to market. Grants and investment, hugely important. And I think a lot of social enterprises and social enterprise leaders have a real issue with money. I'm a granny, I brought my kids up on benefits. The last thing I want to do is talk about taking a loan off anyone. So we've got to get over that, really, because if we're going to scale, we can't do it on my kitchen table. We've got to be borrowing some money. So we got some little grants to start us out, and we salami sliced those little grants to pay for things like brand development and a bit about website and all those things. And then when we realized this thing had got legs, we had to go to our social investors and say, I'm about to take a big order from whoever. I haven't got enough products in my pipeline. Would you mind sort of funding that pipeline? And just amazingly, that they do. So we started, you saw my pictures, and you'd got Hey Girls, and you'd got the team on the boxes and all that kind of thing. And then we had well, wait a minute, we're employing women who are furthest from the labour market, because the jargon. So women who are out of work, could get them back into work. Our team work, drop the kids off, come to work, leave in time to pick up the kids. So particularly women with young families work for Hey Girls. And we thought about, we're good for you. This is an environmental product. It's a beautiful thing that we're giving to you. It's beautifully wrapped. It's given with heart. So we started to think about, what are we good for? And so we changed all our rebrand from those beautiful team members on the box to talk about our wider social impact and how our corporate customers would also be able to benefit from that sort of second-hand impact, as it were. So 2003, again, doing away with the boxes. If you're going to buy a menstrual cup, why not buy a menstrual cup and a sterilising pot at the same time? And let's put it in a cute little recycled cotton bag. We started to work with corporates, really, really big piece, big chain, game changer for us, by putting products into vending machines. And I don't know if anybody's tried to buy, been into the washroom, needed to buy a tampon or a pad, had to have how many euros is it, in which coin denomination to put in the hole. It's pretty difficult to get products out of this, and actually gram for gram they're more expensive than platinum. But so we worked with our business community to put free vends in. It's just a little slot. You just take what you need when you need it, kind of thing. And this little picture up here is, if you think about innovation and talking to your community, we know that there's two conversations I had that sort of smashed together. Somebody wrote to me to tell me about their mum who they lost through domestic violence. Her partner killed her. Absolutely awful. Somebody else was telling me when they go on holiday, they put their money or their jewelry in their tampon box because it's a little safe space that nobody goes. Okay, you can't catch a period off someone giving you a tampon, but you'd think you would. So all we did was, inside the box, we put the domestic violence helpline number. Nobody knows it's there until you open that little box, and there it is. It's a secret. If it just saves one life, it wasn't that worth doing. And we talked to some of our projects about this, and one of them, again in domestic violence, and what we do is in the applicator tampons, we take half of them out and we slide I think they're called burner phones, slide a prepaid mobile phone into that gap so that they've got an emergency number. Their partners or husbands, whoever, don't want to touch their tampons. So it's a little safe space. And the Cabinet Office found out about it in the UK government and said, oh, we want to do a big campaign about this. And I said, you just missed the point. It's a secret. Anyway, so hopefully, this is some of our Hey Girl. We talked about fun, didn't we? Have fun in social enterprise. So hopefully.
I'm Celia Hodson, and I'm the founder of Hey Girls.
A UK-based social enterprise is here to help end the stigma of talking about periods. They're also supporting young women who don't have access to these products.
We're going to deliver some more Hey Girls period products.
We really appreciate it.
When you want to make change, you've got to think, how are you going to make a sustainable change?
Thank you very much, Hey Girls.
Amazing, isn't it? Isn't that fun? That's so good. But actually, it's bringing in partners to do some crazy stuff. If you work at Hey Girls, you will end up wearing a big cardboard tampon and dancing around in the ocean. Because, how do you get your point across if you don't? So how do we get our products out to our communities? We're kind of like the conduit that makes things happen. So someone buys from us and we give it to someone else who's going to give it out. So we've got 300 community partners, here's some of them across the UK, who every month send us their order, and we fulfill their order and send it out to them. It's absolutely free to them. And we make sure they've got in the box what is appropriate for their community. So it's no point sending cups to the Muslim women in Glasgow. They actually would rather have reusable pads. So it's got to be fit for purpose. It's got to work for them. And through these beautiful collaborations and people buying and donating, together we've donated more than 30 million products in the UK. That's massive, isn't it? 30 million products. Just absolutely incredible. So the sector growth kind of thing, you think about your market. Is it supermarkets? Is it eco-stores? Is it selling online? Is it public sector contracting? We realized that we could grow through corporate partnerships. So we ran little pilots with some of these organizations. Heathrow put our products in their staff-facing washrooms. We did a little pilot, and then it went so well, they then put them in their customer-facing washrooms. So that's anyone who's getting on a plane that gets caught short can grab some products, and their products are then matched with the donation that goes out to their community. National Rail, again, they started the same thing, staff-facing, and now we've managed to get free period products into all the waiting rooms, the toilets on stations with National Rail. So lots of little partnerships. Cambridge University, I think we're probably in 50% of the universities across the UK now. Am I all right for time? Yeah, I just can't remember when I started. 2 minutes 40. Oh, sorry, it's very unprofessional, isn't it? I get very carried away. So campaigns and collaborations, we can't do what we do without some very kind people with very deep pockets. So I remember the don't rush to flush up this side. We were the first company to put do not flush on a period product. Some had put them on the boxes, but nobody had put them actually on, on the product. They're so busy putting their logos on there to forget about do not flush, just stick it on there. So we ran that with a water company. We're working with another water company now, Yorkshire Water, and we're doing the Yorkshire Cup. People in Yorkshire like cups of tea. We're doing a bit of a play on words, and all girls in schools will get a menstrual cup for their Yorkshire cup of tea. They got fined 8.5 million, I think, for blockages. So, What the Cup was a piece we did with the Big Issue. So we did the first Big Issue magazine that was all about menstruation, and we put a cup on the front page. And I was particularly pleased with that, because why would you put a menstrual cup on the front of a magazine? It's just incredible. This little pad ad was something that we ran with the Metro, and it was a cut out and keep newspaper pad for all our readers. And then on the flip side, it said, don't be ridiculous. We wouldn't ask you to use a newspaper period pad, but actually 1 in 10 girls in the UK is doing that. Gorgeous Michael Sheen, he ran a campaign with us about dads. Don't leave dads out of the bloody conversation, said gorgeous Michael Sheen. How do we get dads to be aware of their daughters and their partners are having a period or going through the menopause or whatever? So that was particularly cool. We did pants with Sky TV. All the things you can do in your pants. Try some period pants. They're not going to slow you down, all those kind of things. We did a great thing with Social Enterprise UK, and this gorgeous woman here, Caitlin Moran, is an author, and we had a Zapper code on the side of the menstrual cup box, and you clicked on it, and out popped Caitlin saying, hello! It was just like little pixie. It was gorgeous, talking about period poverty. Auto Trader, car magazine, they did a big donation piece with us with schools. Unsanitary was about having the conversation about what other people using, newspapers, socks, leaves, bread, and we rolled that out as a dummy project in Asda. One of my daughter's favourites, the period vulvaries. So we worked with Lucy and Yak, who printed fabric that had lots of tiny little different vulvas on them, and they shared the profits with us, so that was really cool. And Snag Tights, we sent out lots of goodie bags to projects. They've got a mix of period products in there, but also some tights and various things. So, what next? Stop, it says, but I must tell you what next. So we have grown at such a pace. We've got 2 centres who do our dispatch, full of incredibly busy women packing up products, sending them out. So this is our new unit that we moved to in December, terrifying. And this is another social enterprise that we're setting up because we noticed that our business was being stunted from growth because of the bottleneck from third-party suppliers. So we were sort of waiting for them to manufacture our things so we can. So I think all good social entrepreneurs start, if you've got a blockage, you say, well, we'll start our own manufacturing company. So thank you for your time. Now, this is a lot for me, and if you just think about what a woman in her 60s, single parent, who had no idea how to do any of this kind of thing, dyslexic, really worried about the world. If I can do this, I left school at 15 without any qualifications. If I can do it, just think what you can do, you smarty pantses. Just think the difference, the impact you can make. So thank you.
Right. Such a powerhouse. Such an amazing powerhouse. It's a wonderful story. I think that you were really able to see possible the impossible and to challenge taboos and bias that were deeply rooted. I know that we don't have a lot of time for questions, but you most probably will be harassed by how you did it and how you were so good in really shifting the narrative around the period poverty. But just one more thing from my side. What was the moment when you and what was your superpower in that moment when you realized that you had to change the narrative around in order to tackle this problem and to see it not as a problem but as an opportunity?
Yeah. I think I saw a poster that said, "Keep your profit out of my pants," which I thought was, we think about, we've got to have menstrual products, and the fact that they're being sold at vastly overpriced to make shareholder value just doesn't seem right as a social entrepreneur, does it? So, how do you disrupt that market, which is predominantly run by men? I hate to say it, but it is. So how do you do something that's community driven, that's better quality? So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.